Hello and welcome to Your County. I'm your host, Lynn Turner Fitzgerald. Joining me are Yellowstone County Commissioners Mark Morse and Chris White, our brand new commissioner. Thanks for being here, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So I'd like to introduce you to our audience so
Okay.
they have an opportunity to meet you. What's your background, Chris?
My background is I was born and raised in Yellowstone County. I've lived in District 1 the majority of my life. My great-grandparents homesteaded out on Blue Creek. Graduated from senior high in 1987, where I met my wife of almost 35 years. October will be 35 years of marriage.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's an achievement.
Yep. We're blessed. We have 4 children that still live in the Billings area.
Oh.
We do, and 2 grandchildren. We do Sunday suppers, so whoever can come over on Sundays comes over on Sundays, and so we try to get together at least once a week as a family still. So
Good.
Worked on ranches for quite a while growing up. Came back from working on a ranch in May of 1989. Needed to make a pickup payment. At the time, my wife and I were living together, and her brother was working at Albertsons in the Heights, and he was going to work at the hospital. And in 1989, there just weren't a lot of jobs. I figured I'd be able to come back and go drive truck or do construction or whatever, and the bottom was really out of the economy then. Went to work there and was just going to make a few pickup payments and move on, and must have been a heck of a pickup because May of this year I started my 37th year at Albertsons.
Wow. So you have retired now from Albertsons.
I have retired. It was 2 weeks ago on Monday that I retired from Albertsons.
What kind of talent do you think that will serve as you serve as a Yellowstone County Commissioner? Everything that you've learned through the retail business, through groceries?
There's a lot that'll tie together with that as far as budgeting and financing, working with people, working with the public. I got promoted to store director when Albertsons bought the Buttery stores in 1998. My first store was a store on 27th Street. Then at one time I had 27th Street and the old store on 6th and Central. Then we built a new store. There were some budget cuts and changes, and they took somebody from our district office down to the store on 27th Street, and I just ended up with a new store. But being in the eye of the public every day, my name's been on a screen or a cash register receipt since October 1st of 1998.
Well, you're famous.
Oh yeah, famous a lot of ways, yeah. But being in the eye of the public and being around customers and associates and team building, and I mean the list goes on and on, just the daily things of making sure that our store was the one that when you got in your car and put it in reverse, you wanted to come to our store because we were clean, we were full, we were fresh, you got good service. Throughout the years, and people always thought I was weird, if somebody called in to complain, I let them go through and air everything that went on. And then the first thing I always said was, thank you for calling in and telling me this, because without that, I didn't know. I assumed when you came in that everything was being taken care of. You're being treated properly. We had everything you wanted, the whole 9 yards. So that kind of a lot of times caught people off guard that
I bet
that I wasn't, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, or,
Well, I was going to say, dealing with the public, there's a lot of unpredictability every single day because you just don't know.
Absolutely.
There's no
absolutely no 2 days
normal
are
day.
no 2 days are ever the same. In the grocery business. So.
Right. Well, I think that will benefit you greatly as a county commissioner.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly.
You're okay. Mr. Morse.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for
We're
having us.
not ignoring you.
No.
I do want to ask you, though, about the selection process. It had to be kind of tough.
It was tough. As you and your listeners probably know, by statute, the Republican, since John Oslin was a Republican, when it came time to fill that vacancy, they're the ones that advertised for candidates to fill the vacancy in Commissioner District 1. So I think at the end of the day, they ended up with 14 names that they went through, and I think one guy was a no-show at the interviews, another guy dropped out, so I think there was 12 that they interviewed, and from that 12, They forwarded 3 names to myself and Commissioner Waters because we were the selecting officials. And had we not, and those 3 that they forwarded us were Kirk Bushman, Chris White, and Charlie Loveridge.
Yeah.
All 3 gentlemen were qualified for the job. Any one of the 3 of them would have made a great commissioner. It was Mike and my job to go through, interview those 3. Then we left it open for a week of public comment, and that was actually a very good thing.
Oh, good.
We received a lot of public comment.
Good.
And Chris had overwhelming support from John Q. Citizen down in Commissioner District 1.
All right. Well, congratulations again. Do you have, so how long is your term?
So my term will be up in 2026, or the December of 2026.
The way the statute reads is he fulfills the unexpired term
I
of.
see. John Austin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And that would be just December of next year.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have specific projects or issues that you want to focus on?
Right now, I'm just really getting in and learning everything.
Sure.
I really wish that this job would have come with a BOA, a book of acronyms, because I'm on a bunch of emails and everything else, right? New guy question, what does this stand for? What does that stand
Right.
for? So as of right now, I'm just really getting my feet underneath me, and then we're about to go through and pick which boards, because John served on some boards and stuff like that we're going to split out with the other commissioners and that
Community
stuff.
boards that
Community
we
boards.
Yeah.
Yep.
that we either by virtue of providing funding for that group we get a seat on the board, or others are actually kind of county boards that we get a seat on. Like I'll use it for instance, the Board of Health. That's where I was before this interview. I was at a Board of Health meeting, and because we fund Riverstone Health to be our city county Board of Health,
Okay.
and generally the way we do that seat is the chairman is the one that sits as the representative for the county commissioners. Not always, but generally.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to divide up a number of seats. You're going to be busy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's no busier than working at a grocery store. A lot of people don't understand everything that it takes to make that run and,
Right.
and look great and be ready for the customers and the associates. And
It's a big job.
it is a big job.
Wow. What do you see coming up, Commissioner Morse, for Yellowstone County, let's say through the end of 2025?
So the big issue right now is public safety. As you and your listeners know, we just did a 2-year study for a jail master plan. The jail master plan is out. We probably at some point will be forwarding an election with a levy request to expand the jail. So currently our jail capacity is 434 inmates, and they generally average between 600 and 650 inmates a day. So we're about 200 inmates over what?
And it's not a new problem.
It's not a new problem. It's been there for years.
Yeah.
And, I hope that the public gets behind us, and we have to deal with this. I mean, this is not, as you well know, the problem has been years in the making, and it's not going to go away. And we have the jail committee. I'm on the jail working group. We've found some efficiencies, but I think that the engineering firm that did the study on us, they said that with those efficiencies, they think that we kept 30 people out of the facility that otherwise would have been in the facility. So, the efficiency we've
Can
picked
you
up.
explain that? Say that again.
So they think that the efficiencies that we've already worked on over the last 2 years means that we have 30 less people in the facility
As inmates or as?
as inmates.
Okay, okay.
Not as, no, so,
I was going to say, that's a lot of staff.
no, not as staff. So currently, when you consider that we're a 434 bed facility, our authorized complement, I think is right around 75 detention officers. And we are currently down 5 detention officers.
Oh.
And then you have to factor in, but we actually run over 600 inmates in there every day,
Yeah.
not 434. And then, as everybody knows, we built a new short-term detention facility, which is scheduled to be completed. We should take possession of it, the beginning of October, first week, maybe second week. And the sheriff has kind of figured that his needs there, he'll need 10 additional staff to run that. So we're actually down 15 detention officers, and it has proved to be a very difficult task to hire those last 15 detention officers. We have a great group of detention officers down there. I can't say enough good about them. Without their knowledge and ability and want to get the job done, we certainly would not be able to run the facility.
So where does the funding come now for the new officers, if you can hire them?
So right now, we are, in addition to the allocated budget that goes to the sheriff's office this fiscal year, we will have to give him an additional $4 million out of the general fund, which means that is $4 million that is not available for use anywhere else, because we have to fund the sheriff's office so he can operate the jail. And to try to put this all in perspective for your listeners, so we've calculated that, and we haven't got all the bills for our fiscal year, runs from July 1st to June 30th.
Okay.
So we're actually in FY26 now for the county. So for FY25, which ended on June 30th, we don't have all the bills yet, but it's looking like our actual cost to keep an inmate per day is going to be about $119. So just for simplicity, let's round that to $120 a day. And if we are 200 inmates over capacity, on any given night, let's just use 200, easy figures. So multiply that 200 by 120, so that's going to be $24,000 a day. Now do that times 365. And now you understand the enormity of the problem. So that is, in large part, what's driving. It's not the only thing, but it is the biggest. It's the white elephant in the room.
Well, now the temporary holding facility that is almost completed, wasn't that done in an effort to kind of speed up the process so the people could be seen by a judge earlier and not be held?
So you should think about that. Those are two different facilities. The easiest way is think of them as two different facilities. You have the jail and you have short-term detention. And so short-term detention, the longest anybody can stay there is 72 hours, which is 3 days. So the idea is a person gets arrested, they come in, depending on when they get arrested, they may see a judge the same day, but generally they'll see the judge the second day. In extenuating circumstances, they might see him the third day. But the idea is when you come in, you get processed, you get reunited with you're going to get a list of what your criminal court dates are and where you go and when. You're going to get hooked back up with your attorney, and then you're going to be released again. So the idea for this is to return the power of arrest to law enforcement. So if they get a call and they go to Lynn Fitzgerald's house and her car's been broken into, and the officers arrive there and they identify the perpetrator or multiple perpetrators who broke into your car.
In this case, that would be Yellow Jacket Wasps.
Okay. But the idea is when they show up and they identify the suspect, they can arrest the suspect. They don't have to just give them a notice to appear ticket.
I gotcha.
They arrest you. They arrest the people who broke into your car. They take them down to the short-term detention, and then they see the judge, whether it's that day or the next day, and they have to, plead guilty, not guilty, whatever they're going to do there. But it's to give the police power of arrest, immediate power of arrest when they go on a call.
So, how much expansion is going to be needed? I mean, you're looking at 600 plus inmates right now, over capacity, more than 200 over capacity.
So if we, when we ask, we'll probably ask for, and this will seem like a weird number, but 512. And that's just because that's the math of how the beds break out.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 500 bed expand. The exact number is 512, but, and so what that means is then we've accounted for the extra 200 we have in there, and that gives you 300 left. And if you were to talk to any judge in the county today, be that district court judge or JP or municipal court, they would tell you that there's probably between 100 and several hundred people that are out on the streets that probably should not be. So it sounds like a lot of beds, and it will be, but hopefully.
It sounds like a lot of money.
Well, I understand, but that's in today's society.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, as a taxpayer, I guess I'd like to know what my responsibility is going to be here.
So that will be when we put that on the ballot. If we go out for a special election, it will be on the ballot. And there will be two portions to that ballot. There will be the debt service to build the facility, and then there's the operational side to pay for the extra detention officers, the extra food, all that stuff that you're going to need to run that. Because when you detain a person, when you separate them from their freedom, when you take their freedom away, the county, the jail, is solely responsible for every need they have. That's medical, that's dental, that's mental health, that's clothing, that's food, and that's how you get to that $120 figure of what it costs us a day.
Well, I don't suppose AI would be beneficial here, would it?
I don't think so. This is
I don't know. It's a human job.
It's a human job, yes.
Which is too bad. AI could be very helpful if it was human. Well, your math skills are going to come in very handy, aren't they?
Yes.
You guys are going to lean on him quite a bit.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and tell me about the Osland building. We're almost done with that, right?
So we plan to move from the courthouse and the Stillwater building, the new city hall. We'll be in 3 or 4 phases, and we'll start that end of this year, beginning of next year. It'll be just before Christmas or just after Christmas, depending how the dates fall.
Right.
But then we will start moving people out of the courthouse first. And like I said, I think it's 3 or 4 over 2 months. Isn't that what we?
Yep.
2 months. So we should be moved into the Osland building by March 15th.
Well, Chris, you probably remember when the old courthouse, the current courthouse, had the jail upstairs.
Yep.
On the
I
8th floor.
I do remember that.
That was a day ago.
Yes.
And if you go up there, the cells are still up there the way they were when.
Are they really?
Yep.
Why?
The cost of tearing it out. It's all welded steel.
Oh,
It
so
would
it's
be-
vacant.
It's vacant. It's just storage. It would be a an expensive undertaking
Okay.
to try any type of renovation.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they still existed. So let's talk about the new meeting time you have for, what is it, public comment, or I'm not getting discussion?
Discussion.
Discussion meeting. Okay, what's
So
happening?
yeah, discussion will move from Wednesday at 9 to Thursday at 9. We'll still have our board meeting Tuesday at 9. Wednesday at 9, we're doing a department head meeting with all the department heads, and then Thursday at 9 will be the discussion.
So kind of what precipitated this is this last year we've had all our senior department heads were of retirement age, and everybody, quite a few of those people availed themselves of that benefit and retired. So we have a bunch of new department heads. We have a new commissioner in Chris White with a month on. Commissioner Waters has been here 7 months. And so we just decided we were going to have a department head meeting once a week so everybody can associate a name with a face. And then we'll probably have 1 or 2 department heads come in and say, what their role in county government is, and if they have any changes.
Not the whole gang, just one or two at a time. Yeah.
No, we're going to have the whole gang there together.
Okay.
But one or two at a time are going to do a presentation to say, here's what we do, here's how we affect county finances, here's the benefit we provide, that kind of thing. It's just to make everybody work together cohesively as a team.
I think it sounds like a great idea.
So, and the idea, we're doing every meeting we have at 9 o'clock. So Tuesday at 9 o'clock is going to be the public meeting where we conduct business. Wednesday at 9 is going to be department head, and then Thursday at 9 is going to be discussion.
So the department head meeting is not public?
It's public. I mean, anybody can
could?
come.
Okay.
It's not. It's kind of boring, I would say. I don't know. I mean,
Got a lot of time on your hands. Join us.
If you got nothing else to do, bring your coffee and come join us. And so the idea of discussion, and I'm glad you brought this up because this is a topic we just had discussion about. Discussion is if people want to get feedback from the commissioners on an idea they have. And I'll use somebody wants to do maybe a zoning or subdivision. And so they can come in and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? What am I going to need? And that's where we can have public discourse, because one, it's county business, so we're at a properly noticed meeting, and Mark Morse is on the agenda that he wants to come in and talk about the subdivision of his land out south of Huntley, and then that gives he can ask us questions and we can answer with him.
Gotcha.
Now that's opposed to public comment. We always have public comment in our Tuesday public meetings.
Right, sure.
And we have public comment and discussion. But because under public comment, there is no notice to the rest of the public what you may talk about. So you are free to stand up there and use your 3 minutes to address us, but you're not going to have free discourse back and forth with us.
Gotcha.
Because it's not a properly noticed meeting.
Okay, all right. Okay, zoning now brought up something else I wanted to ask about, and that is the state mental hospital. There was talk it was coming here. Now there's talk that it's not. Is the county involved in this decision?
So, I mean, I don't know that I don't think either us or the city council has any hard facts or have had any substantive discussions with the state about what the facility is. Is it a psychiatric? Is it a civil commitment facility? Is it meant to replace Warm Springs? Is it going to be 1 story, 2 stories? Is it going to be 1 wing? Is it going to be 2 wings? How big it is? What impact it's going to have on our community services? It's an important issue to Yellowstone County, and I'll tell you how it's important. So Yellowstone County residents decided to invest in themselves about 20 years ago. They put a public safety mental health levy. They passed it, and that's generated over every year between $1 million and $1.5 million. And then the commissioners have generally split that amongst mental health agencies, and primarily that's been Crisis Center, Mental Health Center, and Rimrock Foundation. Mm-hmm. And then they've done various smaller mental health partners.
Right.
So the Yellowstone County community taxpayers, they basically voted this on themselves to create a mental health network for the benefit of Yellowstone County. So the way I think we see it as a board is that the state and the other 55 counties are looking and saying, well, if we have mental health problems, we're just going to dump them in Yellowstone County. And that's not right. Yellowstone County invested in itself for the benefit of its citizens.
But that still happens.
Well, and it still happens. It happens today, but we're saying enough is enough.
Right.
We have your women's prison here. We have a bunch of your probation and parole programs here, alternatives, passages, We have the most sober living. If you look at the licensed sober living, 90% of them are in Billings. I mean, we cannot continue to be the dumping ground
Right.
for the state and the other 55 counties.
Right, I understand. Well, we're just about out of time. This
Wow.
was Mr. White's first 30-minute interview. He told me
He'll
that.
be back.
Yes.
You did great.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
anything that you want to add that we didn't get to before we say goodbye?
No, I'm just super honored to be in this position. I'll be out and about, just like I said in my interviews. I'm available, and then I'll have to start running for the primary here soon and get all that going. So
Welcome to politics.
yes,
Thanks both of you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.